Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Saving Often, Abduction. This is a notable departure from other games that I've played so far on this channel. I believe this is the first non-Sierra game that I'm tackling, and I'm doing it with my dear, sweet friend, David, who you may remember from the Quest for Glory retrospective video. David, say hello to all of the viewers.
Hey, people. You're going to need to relish this because I'm not going to be talking ad nauseum about Quest for Glory. That's the best you're going to get out of me, but I am excited to be tackling puzzles with Rick here.
David is my puzzle partner in crime. He and I have gone through numerous adventure games together throughout the years, dating back to when we were teenagers, and we've worked on other projects together as well, other puzzle-related projects, so we're really excited to get into the world of Abduction and see what kind of a dent we can put on it. So if you're not familiar with Abduction, this is one of the newer games by the creators of the Myst series, Myst, Riven, etc. This is kind of a modernization of the Myst formula, Myst itself being a very divisive game in the adventure game community, but nonetheless, this kind of takes those the surreal world and the immersive world and the logic puzzles and kind of brings them into the 21st century. So really excited to get into this with my pal here. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for puzzles for us to fumble over, and it'll be a good time.
Yeah, and I have to lay it out that I'm a Myst poser. Back in the day, I totally bought into the criticism and sniping that the rival studios like LucasArts had laid out against Myst. I think in Curse of Monkey Island, you get a character who has the glib line, sure, Myst is pretty, but egad, is it dull? And for a long time, I bought into that mentality. I think that when I played the original Myst, it kind of went over at my head. But Rick here was always an apologist for the franchise for me. There was one point where he actually sent me a letter as one of the characters in the universe. He went to great lengths to have cryptic symbols on it, to burn the edges of the pages, make it look very, very intriguing. And that's what got me to dive in.
I think that I even included a copy of the Book of Atris with that, if I recall correctly.
Absolutely, it was enough to get me over my pretensions.
A lot of people, like I said, it's a very divisive game series. A lot of people write off Myst. In the adventure game community, you either love Myst or you hate it. There doesn't seem to be any in between. They're not really traditional adventure games in the inventory sense.
They're very mechanical style puzzles, which if you're into just the more character driven stuff, it's very, very different. But there is an interesting story behind Myst, but it's more implicit and more you more so pick up the story by tertiary sources, by reading journals and stuff and having to piece it together. So there's a bit more work involved generally.
Yeah, I've grown to appreciate it more as I've gotten older, just because, when I first played the game series when I was a kid, I mean, it was shiny and flashy and new, and I bought into everything that it said on the packaging, a surreal world or a surreal island that will become your world or something like that. And I thought, wow, this is so cool. This is so interesting. This is awesome. This is such a fascinating game. And I had no idea what I was doing. But as I got older, I started to realize that there's a lot of lore behind it, and there's a really, as David said, a really interesting story with Atris writing the worlds into existence, and you then going through and exploring those worlds long after he's created them. So I love Myst very much. I think that it's an exceptional series, and I'm excited for Abduction. And as David said, I kind of pulled him along for the ride eventually too, and got him to see the light of the mechanical puzzle.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what this modern spiritual successor has to offer. And I think we can dive in unless there's any other preamble we want to indulge in.
No, I think that's good. So let's go ahead and get started. Start a new game here. And we will name it Saving Often. So we're going to go with free roam. The game offers point and click as well, which is basically the old node-based slideshow of the Myst games. So, but we're going to stick with free roam because it's a little more modern and gives me a little more freedom. And we'll just stick with a male character shadow as well. Okay, so as you can see, we are thrown right into the game with no fanfare or storyline just yet.
We all lost everything. Everything but our stories. And they shouldn't be forgotten. I was 3. It was April of 1983. Cecil, it was 1870 for you. Sam and Vera, you tell it like it was yesterday, but it's been 62 years since you saw that blast of light.
One thing I do like about the free roam is that it's reminiscent of, say, real Myst, where they did kind of add like the free look in that version of Myst, which was my preferred way to play the first game.
Yeah, I feel like this is absolutely a realization of what they always wanted Myst to be.
Light. That's where all of our new stories began. Streaked across the sky, mesmerized, but unnerving. Even in daylight, Joseph said it was gloriously bright. But in the twilight, it was spellbinding. Whether it was in the deep woods like Cecil or right outside town like Jane and Jenny, we were drawn to see more. Vera, you said you recall smiling. Some of you were alone. I wasn't. My dear grandma, God bless her, rejoiced as if some forebearer of good fortune. None of us understood. But, well, we followed. And we all felt some kind of trepidation, yet attraction. We approached it, and it approached us. You all remember, there was no turning away. It advanced, almost like purposefully, spinning slowly until, well, it found us, each of us. We should tell these stories because it saved us, and there must be.
I think that the space raspberry there just abducted us.
That it did.
So what I kind of gather from that opening monologue, and I'm completely blind to this game, is that multiple individuals had an encounter of that nature at different points in the timeline. And I guess these people either interact with each other or maybe there's some like time shenanigans going on. But 62 years from like the 70s or 60s, that's either going to be contemporary with us or like 2030s-ish.
Yeah, and speaking of which, I have played the first few hours of this game. I played it back whenever the game came out, so I don't really remember anything. I remember little bits and bobs, but I will be somewhat familiar with the beginning of the game, whereas David is totally the first time playing. But I do remember being absolutely struck by the landscapes. I think this is a gorgeous game.
This will be a more like dramatic experience, whereas some of the Sierra games is like, the first 2/3, you know, by like the back of your hand. And then the last word is like, what am I doing again?
Welcome to Hunrath. Let's see, can I interact with this somehow? Is that
It might be like a fast travel system, so maybe like this activates it. Oh, there's a button.
There's a button here.
Hello, bonjour, ciao, hola, hello, shora, Ni hao. Welcome to Hunrath. My name is Joseph. I am the mayor here. You are most probably a bit confused and disoriented. But let me reassure you, everything will be fine. You're not the first to go through this experience. The others who have come before you will help you adjust. Follow the trail to the house with the white picket fence. Fali will meet you there and introduce you to your new life here.
Continuing the FMV tradition. Probably not going to be as campy as something like Red Alert, maybe. The train comes directly to your house. Very specific stop on the line. Although it may be something like, oh, the Space Raspberry dumps you right wherever it finds you. So, like, maybe, like, this whole house just got dumped on top of where the tracks need to go. Which could be a problem for us if that's the case.
Either that, or this is a primitive transportation system, maybe by minecart. It looks like there's a mine up ahead, but we can come in here and check out this house. So a little bit about the interface here. I have the circular reticle in the middle of the screen, and whenever it fills in, it's an object that I can interact with. And once I interact with the object, sometimes it'll show me, like with that with the lever over there, it'll show me how I can move it. So there's going to be some manipulation of objects as per the tradition here.
I didn't know that we were going to get a Zork crossover, though.
To Carolyn, or whoever else might come back. It has been 5 days, and not a soul has returned. I am inclined to believe that things have not gone well. Yet, surprisingly, I am still alive, and that both supremely perplexes me and gives me some portion of hope. I have retreated to my vault for protection and to contemplate my options. CW.
Not so much as a stamp or an envelope. But I don't think we get the postal service here.
No. The postal service is probably walking it over to your neighbor's house and slipping it into their mailbox and then running away. So as you saw there, I took a photo of that letter. There is a camera in this game that you can take pictures of hints. If I go into my menu, I can view the photos that I've taken so far. So we will be using the camera for two things. We will be using it to take pictures of the landscape and of the clues that we find, and we will also be using it when I forget that the spacebar is camera and not jump, and I try to jump over an obstacle. So this is Farley's Community Center.
I'm Farley. I guess if you're seeing this, then I wasn't able. Just in case. Welcome. But it's probably not safe here. To be blunt, we're getting ready for a battle. I don't know what you'll find. I just thought I should. Just be cautious. With who you trust. CW may be here. I don't know. Just be careful. I've got to go. See you soon. And don't panic. As jarring as this experience is, you really will find Hunrath to be a decent price.
You'll even come to really enjoy the battles.
So I'm immediately getting some Rapture vibes from this place.
In terms of BioShock, or in terms of just like the biblical rapture?
I guess in terms of both. I was speaking more so from a BioShock perspective, but yeah, I'm getting the feeling that this is some kind of an ideal place where I think people have been plucked from within. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if we encounter anybody. Warning, do not approach anything that even remotely resembles this diagram unless it has been disabled.
Was it Mist 3 or 4 that introduced the whole like camera recording feature?
That was Mist 4
Okay.
Revelation.
So, a big thing, a big roadblock for me playing Myst back in the day is that there were games where you really want to be taking notes, and
Mm-hmm.
there was taking photos was a concession to that, so that you don't have to literally like have a notebook in hand to put these things together. And I think there was another note by that other door, the side door,
Was there?
unless I'm paranoid.
Over here?
Maybe wrong. Like look over to your right a little bit. No, it was just a shadow. I'm
Okay.
misleading you.
It's okay. Feel free to backseat game with me here. This is a collaborative effort, and I will undoubtedly miss things.
It's too bad you can't play hopscotch because you can't jump.
Or throw things. At least I don't think so. I don't know if you can carry an inventory. Okay, well, I guess let's head over this way and see what we can find.
Got some tombstones. Who's dead? Is it Kinsey? Minzy?
Looks like Henry. Henry...
Mart smell? Kmart?
I'm resisting the urge to say Fartnell.
Benjamin Sims.
And, okay, Sarah
like,
Hartwell.
These look like they had to be repurposed. Like these, like other people were buried here, but we're gonna, strap some new names on there because, like, making tombstones is hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this gives me the feeling of either they could not etch names into them, or they found the tombstones and repurposed them, as you said. Who do we have up here? We have Margaret Hartwell and Anna Jackson. Or is it Hartnell? Maybe it's Hartnell. It's an awkward name.
We can always like revert to Fartnell.
And down here we have... Oh, I'm trying to crouch. I don't think there's a crouch button. But it looks like Daniel Hartbull.
And that's one of the oldies. We'll have to keep this place in mind if we want to confirm some people are dead.
Yeah. Let me just take a quick look at the controls here. Just to make sure that I'm not missing on a crouch or a zoom button. I don't think that I am.
Or if you're like me, we were playing Broken Sword earlier this week, and I didn't realize that right-clicking served as a secondary look function.
Until several hours into the game. Maybe that's why we didn't enjoy it, because we didn't know that we could look. That changed everything. Here we have
that one's a mystery.
Carl Hunrath, John Farley, and Robert Hartnell.
The Hunrath family, I'm assuming that this is, like this place is named after them. They're going to be like the original pioneers.
Mm-hmm. Luther Roscoe and Ida, probably Ida Hartnell. The older gravestones seem to have etchings in them from the late 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's the repurposing that has gone on. Is maybe the first generation had passed on and they... I don't know. Curious. Hope we find out more about it. There's a couple more over here for John Hartnell Sr., beloved husband, father, grandfather... other, can't really read that, and Mary Hartnell,
loved by all.
Mame Mary, loved by all. Mama Mary, I can read words. Here we have some more space raspberries, but on the outside of a barrier.
Can't get in there. You can look but not touch.
Didn't notice that laser before. I probably just didn't look that way.
Kind of the direction we came from, and it seems to be shooting in the direction of like that first like visual audio log we found.
Let's pop through this tunnel and see what's on the other side. Oh. More wall. Okay.
What is behind over here is disappointment. It does look like that the tracks have been over-encompassed over there as well, because they don't continue into the space zone.
Yeah, this feels like there's maybe another plane on the other side of this shimmering wall. Okay, so there's a track leading into some rocks.
These rocks glow. They look angry to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some strange artifacting going on there.
I think that we're going to need some sort of sci-fi nonsense to break through that.
Probably. This looks like it's going to lead us toward another shimmering wall.
And there's a friendly insect.
Our friend Casey would disagree, but there is no friendly insect.
Is it locked? Oh, we can go in here. Let's trespass.
Adventure game sociopathy ho. More shimmering artifacting rocks. So, yeah, I feel like there's going to be something that we're going to need to do to remove these from this plane somehow.
I feel like this hub we're in right now is kind of going to be the tutorial area, and we're going to be locked in here until we make a major breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll either be like, oh, we can get into the space zone, or we can deal with the red rocks, the angry rocks.
Okay, so this is where we came in.
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean the laser is over here.
Yeah, this seems like something that's it's wanting us to try and reach, because it's just a pretty visible landmark in the sky. Another buddy.
And these levers shift the minecart tracks. Can't really see it from
At least
that
in
angle.
theory.
Well, they do. If you look, you can kind of see how the tracks are moving. So that'll determine what direction an eventual minecart can go. Okay, and here's the Hartnell Mining Company, and Hartnell Mercantile.
There were a lot of dead Hartnells the way we came, so they've had a big impact. They brought capitalism to the sci-fi zone.
Good. Awesome. Another warning about this odd-looking item.
Well, either they brought it here, or this entire shantytown was transported here.
That's also a possibility.
This one's just a regular rock, not necessarily angry.
Mm-hmm. We have some lamps strung up here.
Yeah, that sort of detail is going to matter in a Myst game. It's like,
yeah, absolutely. Myst is the kind of series where you have to follow the power lines and see where they go, which is a hell of a lot easier in a fully 3D game like this than it was back in the slideshow era.
Mm-hmm.
Playing cards.
This is the fun house. Can we get in the briefcase, or is it just decorative?
No, it looks like it's decorative. I'm not seeing any hot spots on it. Same for the desk.
Yeah, we can get in here at least. Is this the other end of where we were blocked off? Ooh, can't take that shovel, can we?
No, it sort of looks like it.
I just saw like the cursor show up, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited. We can pick up a thing. That's not how this works.
No. Oh, no.
It's going to be more likely that we find like a console or a panel, and we can push some buttons.
Yeah.
And then maybe something happened.
Although, I don't know. I think that they got a little more inventory-y as time went on.
Perhaps.
Not much, but we
There's
have another...
Yeah, audio log. Let's find out what was going on in downtown Hunrath.
We have a healthy, thriving community here, as you can see.
Mm-hmm.
Our garden was planted years ago and has supplied plenty of food for many generations. The buildings around town serve multiple purposes, including housing, schooling, and storage. I'm sure you have run across a number of folks already. Many were brought here, like you, and some actually were born here. We all feel we are part of the whole.
Yosef is like, hey, have you heard of buildings? We got plenty of them, and they serve a variety of functions.
You want buildings? We got buildings.
What more could you ask for? People. And clearly, as you've no doubt experienced, there's plenty of people here, too.
People as far as the eye can see. He's a little delusional. Although that does obviously point to a time when this was a far more thriving region. Makes me wonder when we're coming across it.
Generally, the Myst games have always like had it where it's like you, the player, are the one who get thrust into it. There's
yeah,
the protagonist is not some separate entity.
And you know, that's something that I've always liked about them too, is that it's very much so. I think it was designed to be the kind of game that you just kind of turn the lights off, focus squarely on the game, and let yourself kind of be a part of the world.
What's up with the tree?
This is the tree. It has been here in Hunrath for as long as anyone can remember. Its health is intimately tied to everything in our little greenhouse. Cell we live in, our ecosystem. It has provided many surprises over the years, including some interesting seeds that you will learn more about. Many have postulated, yet we really know very little about its origins. But we do know it should be cherished and protected.
Our view of this special tree is very obstructed. So
it is.
I'm wondering if that's significant. Seems like they wanted to construct some, like, cart rails up there.
Mm-hmm. This game is almost enough to make me wish that I had a VR headset. I know that it supports VR, and this would be a hell of an experience to see. That door's closed. Well, there's our tree.
Looks like we can't get to it though.
Mm-mm.
I want some special seeds. I want to like do some worship at the nice tree.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like there's a track here. Oh, I see. There's a gear underneath that we have to get to open this up.
But how can we get there? That's the ticket.
A water tower with a yellow hose. That'll certainly be important.
That'll be very important.
Okay, here's where the drain comes down. Looks to be damaged. I wonder if we can still get water out of there, or if we'll even need to.
This is at the end of a minecart track. I presume that that might be something where we want to transport some water somewhere else.
Potentially, although the track doesn't make it all the way to the drain.
Hmm. That's fun.
It's a very classic Riven visual right here. An animal-shaped thing that just looks kind of... I don't even know how I would describe that.
Modern or science fiction-y?
Science fiction-y, I suppose.
Retro-futuristic?
Yeah. There's a rake.
That rake would be extremely useful in any other game.
Boy, it sure would. Wish I could click on it.
Things you always want in an adventure game is like a long pole, a length of rope.
Mm-hmm. A tissue covered in grease paint.
Mm-hmm. A joy buzzer. Well, you're not dead.
I'm not dead. 2 different colored beams, though. I wonder if we have to cross these somehow. There's one of our little insect buddies.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here?
One of the logs had mentioned like a kind of vault. Ugh.
Lasted long. You should have been. I thought you'd all been. The devil are you? Good Lord, Neville. Now? It's a bad time to be arriving here. You should have listened to me. I'm going home. Maybe it's good timing for you. You might spend a lot less time in this prison than the rest of us has. Alrighty, maybe it's good timing for me. No more waiting around. I guess I could do it all on my own if I had to, but, well, could speed things up a bit with your help. First off, you should know that this whole place has been battened down for that old karffin Mofang battle. We gotta get everything unbattened. And I got me a bit of power here, but I'm gonna need it all. If you can concern yourself with that, get all the power lines on it, I'll be working on my devices. Now, let's get the hell out of this place.
So
Okay,
Rick, on a scale of 1 to 10, how sus is this guy?
He's pretty suspect. Although you always suspect the first person to tell you that the dystopian utopia that you've walked into is not a utopia, but actually a dystopia.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that they continued the tradition of having video of an actual actor just, you know, behind a pane of glass or something to make it look more natural.
Also saves him having to try to render a photorealistic human.
Mm-hmm. So we have our first objective, which is going to be to get power running again.
Mm-hmm. So he was upset about that karffin Mofang battle, and I'm wondering how much of that was slang and how much of that was jargon.
Yes, the karffin Mohang battle.
Well, you done broke it.
It's stuck there now.
You karffin broke it.
I wonder what I just did.
You are now in a doomed state.
This is also the quintessential Myst experience of turning a lever and then saying, huh, I wonder what that was for.
I think my theory about being locked into a tutorial area is bust, because I feel like we've got plenty of terrain now.
Mm-hmm. There are paths leading out, different spokes that are just kind of blocked by that shimmering wall, so...
Maybe when we get power on, we'll be able to explore in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like that whatever that guy in the vault wants us to accomplish... Ooh, can we fiddle with this now?
I don't think so.
Well, it's pointed to the sky, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's it.
Well, what I was wondering was we get the power back on. He seems to think that it's going to expedite whatever is happening right now, and we don't know yet if that's a good or a bad thing.
Right.
He seemed pretty resigned, so I'm hesitant to think that in the long run, well, probably in the short term, we're going to want the power back on, but in the long run, maybe not.
The problem with having so much open-ended space is that now that I've gone to a variety of locations, I need to start remembering where I haven't gone yet. Mm-hmm. For example, I don't think that we've come in here.
No, I don't think so. There's a bell, or is it a bell?
It looks like a light bulb, yeah. And it's
we want to get over there.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be funny if you just had to complete Nat's rest of wires above you.
Yeah, good luck.
I wonder what that did. I think the power's off is why we can't tell.
Oh, I know. It's just satisfying to click the big red button, that's all. So I think that we're going to have to get up there and maybe reposition that blue laser? Maybe
we can't reposition the red one. I think there might be some machinery that'll let us maneuver them. Or else, maybe we'll get an ability to manipulate red or blue objects. Maybe.
Let's see what we have down here. This is the waterfall.
Part of our ecosystem here is our supply of water.
Have you heard of it?
It's supplied as a natural process of the system itself, but we don't really understand how. Although the entire system is very closely tied together. The fact that one of the most important necessities of life has been provided to us has led many to believe that this place has a purpose. Others attribute a complex natural process which we one day hope to understand. Either way, we are glad to have all the water we need.
So part of me is wondering, given that if this is a situation where the aliens abducted some people and put them in a terrarium, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this doesn't feel like they've colonized this area and built a system of power via water. It feels like they were put here and they've made the best of it.
Nope. Oh, you wanted to pull that lever, huh? Too bad.
Too bad you pulled the other one first. Now you'll never pull this one.
I figure that one would open this gate, wouldn't it? That would make sense, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I can reposition the two flanges of the dam here.
But the question is, which direction do we want it to point?
I don't know if that's going to be important to us just yet.
Shouldn't have pulled that lever, now you'll never get in there. So if I wanted to support my terrarium theory, there's the question of like if the surrounding like space zone is like a dome over us.
That's a possibility, yeah. I feel like there's something that I might have missed back here in town. We can try following those wires to see where they go.
And over here at the tree area.
Mm-hmm.
Sure would like it if I could pick up a key or something.
Or at least, like, you know, peer through a hole or anything.
Or if like a scary hand lunged out of the hole at you.
You know, as is on brand for Myst. I bet we have to get up to that lever. And maybe
Most
turn
likely.
on the water from up there?
Probably. You know, give the tree a little water and then it's like, thank you, and then gives you a key.
Mm-hmm.
So where does like this walkway go? Is it like, it looks like there's like at least part of it is just like minecart tracks that's over a gap that maybe we're not going to be able to cross.
Yeah, and the hose up there is kind of leading to the tree.
So we might not be able to do anything with that until we gain access to the tree itself, which is going to require us to get down to the basement area.
Yeah, which it looks like this
Which is probably going to require power, which will require us to get to the tree.
It looks like this is going to maybe collapse down into stairs that will take us down there.
That would be very sensible.
So is this area powering the village, or is this village powering this area?
I mean, it seems like most likely that the water source is being used to generate hydro electricity. The alternative, I think, would be like, oh, the mystical god tree is providing energy, but I don't think they're kind of that. Like, Yosef didn't seem that amazed by it. Like, more so like, oh, it provides us with special seeds, and that's going to be a food source or something of that nature.
Yeah. That just leads up to the tree. Well, double back over here. We couldn't get into this house before.
But you pull the lever, so maybe now you can get in.
No, still can't. What was over here? Anything? Mm-mm. Oh, a truck.
We get to examine it. Half expect there to be like a security code etched into it, but I think
Yeah.
this is this is just decorative.
Yeah, it looks to be. I thought maybe there'd be like a note stashed in the bed or something. Well, interesting nonetheless, our first interactable object.
What do you think they do at Farley's Community Center?
Community things. You know, plan events, dances, etc.
Something on the roof there.
Yeah, there is. Oh,
It's one of our buddies.
An insect pal. What did that lever do?
The one we pulled at the waterfall. I figure the most probable explanation is this opened the dam.
I would assume so, but that would imply that we've powered something.
Maybe, but like the mechanism for creating hydroelectricity, if there is any, like we haven't seen direct evidence of that, and we may have to like activate it. Like we actually need to like insert like a gear to be turned or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Vault Boy told us his name.
Oh, great.
Are you able to like push like that button there? Or is there just like a nub?
It just looks like a nub.
That's nothing.
Well, why can't we go back up?
Maybe because you pulled that lever, you doofus.
But we came back down.
Well, it's because of gravity, obviously.
Damn it.
Myst was not the sort of series that had dead ends to my recollection, so I think we're
No.
fine. This is fine. I'm going to say that with increasing desperation as we continue to play.
Smooth sailing from here on out.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Okay, well, was there something... You know, I wonder if it came from manipulating this over here. Although I thought I reset it to its original position.
Yeah, I think that it was kind of neutral originally. I feel like they wouldn't require us to mess with this until we knew what we were affecting, but hard to say. Oh, now you can pull it.
Oh, I could pull it before, it just doesn't do anything.
It wouldn't lock in place.
I feel like given the flow of the water, this isn't going to affect anything on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Ah! You did it!
So like I said, we needed to mess with that thing.
All of you are impressed with how intentional that was.
Yes. I think that is why the Myst games have gotten such a bad reputation among their detractors, is because of things like that, where you just have to fiddle with puzzle pieces until something happens. But we found a delightful little picnic hideaway. The lack of a jump button is bugging me.
Well, you can take a picture of it. There
Beautiful.
you go.
I'll remember
Cherished
this
memories.
moment forever.
This looks significant.
Oh good, a big spinning dome. On
You can ride your motorcycle in a circle.
Huh, that's an interesting contraption.
Seems like it's like repurposed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely it is. just like to reiterate how beautiful and serene this game is. Very picturesque.
Mm-hmm.
Some kind of a map here.
Yeah, how about you take a picture of it? You got town, you got the tower, the sphere, Farley's Community Center.
Yeah,
Got
so
the tunnel, scrap ramp, garage, and the CW channel.
I would assume that's the Farley Community Center, yeah. I wonder
Is
if
the
this
red-
is... I'm sorry?
Does the red, you think, indicate where we are now?
It almost indicates where the red laser is.
Possibly.
I'm wondering if this is a map of the tracks.
That seems a reasonable assumption to make. Is the sphere going to be that big like boulder we saw with the motorcycle contraption?
That could also be, yeah. Very interesting. I don't know that we have enough of a frame of reference here to really tell what's... Although, considering how this is a power station, maybe that's a power grid.
It does resemble one. Where's these wires go?
Why they come over here into this generator. Oh, good. Another classic missed interface.
Fuel's empty.
Fuel is empty.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with that until we have some fuel in the system.
Mm-hmm.
This is the fuel drain, so... If we have the line down, is that going to basically make it flow where it's going to go into the machine?
Yes, because that would flow upward versus draining it down.
So I think that's at least step one here, trying to get this thing turned on. Otherwise, it's like just spilling, your gasoline all over the ground or whatever.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. It's just a mess. Smells bad. Hard to clean. Flammable.
Everybody thinks less of you.
They all think you're the kind of doofus who rides a waterfall lift and then turns a lever and doesn't know what it does.
What is your first day? Yosef went to enormous trouble to put orientation FMVs everywhere, and least you can do is pay attention.
Yeah.
It's humming at least. Would this be the tower, or is anything else better described as that?
It's a distinct possibility. I don't know what you can read this line as, if that's supposed to be the river.
Could be. It's a very short line, though. Are the wires, leading off the top of this tower, just suspended and to nothing?
I'm trying to figure out the same thing. I wonder if they are... I wonder if the wires are leading into the shimmering wall.
Could be.
Because they would appear to be power cables, unless they're just giant...
Are the aliens siphoning our cable?
Cable piracy is wrong. We should report them immediately.
Just ask for our Wi-Fi password. It's fine.
Oh, good. I love number pads.
Well, the power's going to be on before we even find the number, so...
Yes, let's not worry about that too much. This is just another view of the tower.
But
Looks
can we
like
see
there's-
anything else? The walkway...
There's a way in. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that those are all cables that are leading into the ether. As this pathway is as well. Interesting obelisks, though.
Mm-hmm. Maybe they play a role in creating this field, or they're just natural formations. Well, you're up here now.
We did it.
There's so many nooks and crannies in this world map, so it's going to be real embarrassing when we forget where a thing is.
I know. I know.
Look at these bozos. They don't even know how to get back to the Farley's Community Center.
Everybody knows how to get back to Farley's Community Center.
It was like the first thing you looked at in the game.
You take a left at the rock, you follow the trees, past the hammock. Okay, we can come...
Rotate the obelisks.
So we didn't fully explore back over
Can you go
here in this corner.
that cabin, the train car?
This here?
Yeah. I don't think we looked in here. There's a picture. Destroy. Is that what it says? Lost Boy? Lost Boy?
Looks like it says Lost Boy.
Is he just like the pop idol of this group?
So I'm seeing this red line here, and that is saying fuel line to me.
That makes sense. And you got a hose.
And it leads to a gas station, so yeah. My suspicions were correct.
Does it still got any fuel? Can you turn it on? Give it a little tug.
I heard some fuel.
Yeah, so I imagine that, like, if we go back to, like, the train, we'll see that it's got fuel now, and maybe we'll be able to, like, prime it and then start it.
Hey, how about that?
Question is if it needs electricity, too. You can try it when it says, like, the switch is on, maybe, but if there's nothing to spark it, then maybe that's why we can't.
Oh, I just had to hold it.
Yeah, gotta give it the juice. Okay,
We did it.
we've done something. Is a panel locked now, so that you can't embarrass
is.
yourself?
It is.
It's like you're done. Move on. You've accomplished something, but what? To what end?
Yeah. Well, I would assume that that we now have power. Oh, these lights are on.
Town doesn't have any power, though, it looks like.
But we've got power to Farley, to the tower, to the sphere, to the tunnels, and to the scrapyard, and to CW. So how did that affect the tower since we're here? I hear the generator going. That's a good sign.
I wonder if the game's going to be mean enough to be like, oh, you used up all your fuel, I got to do it all over again. Doesn't seem quite affected.
Mm-mm. Although now you have me paranoid about my fuel level. There was a little meter there.
Listen,
I hope that's not draining.
It's a video game. You don't got to turn off your flashlight in every video game.
Just some of them, which is what worries me. No, we look fine. I think we're gonna be okay here.
Listen, when you pull a lever and nothing happens, that's when you know that you've run out of fuel. There's a button. Did we see that before? I don't think we did. That's fun. We can rotate this orb.
You know, I always like it when I press a button and it does something once and then never does anything again. I hate when I have to keep on manipulating things.
So we got a hole in the orb, and we're probably gonna want it pointed in some direction. I can imagine a situation where we gotta like shine one of those colored lasers into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just what you do with big orb, is you shine lasers into it.
Yeah, what else are they good for? That seems to be the only thing upon this orb. Oh,
I know we weren't going to get the option to, but I kind of imagined that, like, we having to get on the motorcycle and ride around in circles.
I was really hoping. Oh, there's a big hole in it.
Ooh. This would be really exciting if we could get up there. I think it's going to function like a staircase. Like, it seems to be, like, going upwards at a right angle. So if we can, like, see where it could possibly connect, we can maybe position it so that we solve the puzzle before we get up there.
I see what you're saying. It's very hard to see.
Jumping out at me.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't solve the puzzle before you get up there. You gotta take notes. You gotta be patient. Wait a couple weeks before you pick up the game again and forget what you were doing.
Yes. That's the whole reason I stopped playing this game in the first place, because we started playing it and we thought, oh wow, Abduction's a really cool game. We should play it and get through it. And then we put it down for a few weeks and came back and kind of scratched our heads like, wait, what did we do?
Listen, being an adult is hard. You gotta, like, worry about your job instead of playing video games all day. It sucks.
It does. Which is why we should just quit our jobs and play video games.
The flip side is actually getting big at doing Let's Plays where, like, oh, it is your job and now it's not any fun anymore.
That's true. Could go fishing.
No, game's not gonna let you do that. That looks like a thing you'd knock down.
It sure does, and I bet that leads us to the sphere.
So I could figure that basically the left end of the track is going to be how we get up there in the first place. But that's going to require us to get through the door across the river here.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to make it flow the other direction, I think. Got to change the rudders.
Puzzles.
Man, we hate puzzles here. We roped my husband Max into playing King's Quest VII, and there was just like this moment where he just got to a new screen and was like, another puzzle?
I was just about to relate that story because that's exactly what this reminded me of. More puzzles. I hate puzzles. Well, did we accomplish anything power-wise back here? It looks like it. Looks like we have a light on here now.
Okay. Ooh. I was thinking that since the map of the power grid seemed to suggest that there was no power to town, that we couldn't do anything in town with power. But well, I was wrong.
This might not be considered town. Let's take a look at our map again. This may be considered CW.
Well, this was a Hartney mining operation. So yeah, this maybe it not strictly speaking town, but this I still don't know what CW stands for.
CW is a person.
Is Carolyn or Caroline, depending on how you want to pronounce it.
Well, this is signed by CW to Caroline.
Oh,
so CW is a person,
unless it's her past or future self.
Oh man. Who is Booker DeWitt?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we have access to.
And we got another audio log.
More bullshit.
Is Yosef going to tell us something cool? Ooh, another blue laser.
Let's check the audio log.
Is it even like? Oh, there's the button.
All right, now move around.
This is our one.
Why are you so nervous? This is just it.
Okay, now what? Okay, that's enough.
Caroline, I swear you are a natural.
Where's your pet peeve anyway? Are the Mofangs just giving you stuff now?
Being generous of late. Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Okay, so the subtitles gave us a slight spoiler there. We know that CW has a southern lilt to his voice, so that might be the guy in the vault.
Mm-hmm.
He seems a little fascinated, and also they mentioned the Mofang, which I guess would be the name of the aliens?
That's what I'm thinking too. How she said the Mofang gave it to you. Maybe they are the rulers of this world, as it were. Considering how the gentleman in the vault is below us down here, I'm guessing this is CW.
Can you pick up that hammer? And so where's the security code etched onto it?
You asked if I could pick up the hammer, and the answer is yes, I can pick up the hammer. Now, we can't do anything with the hammer, but we can look at it.
It is a sort of object that would be extremely useful in a lot of situations, but...
Let's leave it here. All right, we have some lore here, so let's check this out. Mayor's Imager requests. Entry Canyon, Farley's House, Center of Town, Tree, Water Source, Waterfall, Membrane, Wall Cell, the Wall/Tower, Locomotive Power Generator, and Scrapyard/Garage. So I wonder if this is where the images of Yosef are processed.
That would make sense.
Ambassador Seed Swap Machine functionality. Radius of swap sphere is defined at first swap, immutable. Seeds recharge naturally from ubiquitous ambient membrane power radiation tied to tree health. Forcing seed open triggers prep behavior, radius demarcation. Small battery added to amplify ambient membrane power, charges continuously. Parabolic focusing of power used to trigger seed swap behavior. Locking location or swap machines assures predictability, no unanticipated damage. Radius demarcation also occurs at same location in destination sphere. Without a pair seed defining the destination swap location, the destination coordinates match the source. Voila! Swapping on demand.
This has the same cadence as the data quarter puzzle from Space Quest 6.
So we need the Dentium, Repentium, and Fentium chips to go into the swapping radius damage predicticator.
That's going to be incredibly important later.
And we've got a book here. Oh, do I want to read this out loud?
It's getting into variables and numbers at the end here. At least it's not very long.
Mofang solid volume projector. Dimensional projector produces apparently solid apparitions with light volume and some sort of simulated mass. Rico says all projectors will have similar power levels and communication protocols. There appear to be three primary elements. Projector element, beam emission, provides the primary light energy source. Control arm, some kind of control of the beam in 3 dimensions. Color, variable. And mass, invariable. Communications arms, internal comm signals supplied across gap to projection arms. 7 ohms gap, 22, 29, 30, focus 2, 11, 67.5, 21, 67.5, 7 ohms gap. 7 ohms gap, focus 22, 977. We'll use 7 volt communications level as a carrier voltage. Varying the voltage around that baseline voltage produces solid-like volume boxes in various colors formed from bottom to top, left to right. The Mofangs have tuned the retrace timing to 30 Hz for us. Mighty kind of them. For a full 3D resolution, or approximately 525 by 150 by 150, the converter would be required to adjust the voltage about every 3 ends. I don't have an abundance of circuitry to build converters running at 333 MHz. For still projections, rocks, the refresh doesn't matter. The display is persistent until/unless the voltage varies from 7 volts. I can produce the projection from a still image and set the voltage to 7 to maintain it. Less than 0.8 volts results in clear, open, massless display space. Image bounds, radio transmitter, speaker, converter, video source. Notes, sound will be handled separately. Some projection noise, slight shimmer from radio interference, moving image corruption, noise toward bottom of projection. Images above projection arm bounds are possible. Checking for potential hidden lethality. Mayor suggestion, checks out, can't find anything destructive. Consistent, spurious, very high frequency background carrier, no idea what that could be. Odd side effect, projection intersecting any part of cell wall suppresses all transport. Asterisk. Asterisk? Not sure why I tried this. Farley claims it's related to some desire of mine to shoot everything at everything else.
I'm going to need you to commit all of this to memory. So it sounds like we've got basically a holodeck technology in this world. And my speculation is that those angry rocks are actually holograms.
I would just like to add that on the blank pages here, I'd like to write that 2 dulcimas raised to the degree of 40 half dulcimas divided into equal parts by the third of a cackle of grouse geese put over the result of 10 fine mackles. We'll stop there. Yeah, so this is some interesting jargon about what's going on here, but I think that what we can glean most from this is, I guess, just the spirit of experimentation and how CW has learned how to use this technology. It is a Mofang projector, so this is definitely provided by the aliens.
I mean, technically, we're probably the aliens in this scenario, but they're the aliens. They're kooky.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm also wondering if the Mofang battle, he phrased it as Farkin Mofang battle. So are the Farkin a other faction of aliens? or is he just like, was it just a spurious insult?
Yeah, it seems like an expletive to me. So this turned on a laser.
I'm wondering if the laser has any connection to, say, the holograms. If it's like either helping produce them or might help eliminate them.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, if like a lot of this stuff is like producing holograms, you could maybe argue that this entire terrarium environment is just a hologram. Well, you can plug us up.
Battery capacitor log.
Imagine if in Skyrim you had to take a picture of every single book page. Were you not able to connect the plug into the machinery?
I didn't see a hotspot.
It looks like there's a lever.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I see.
Good thing I'm here.
Yes, thank you. I missed some scraps of paper here. CW, please change Farley's lock code to secure the vault. Her address backwards should suffice. Regards, Josef Jansen, Mayor Jansen.
So, when we got to the house, I was like, okay, that's a very clearly visible house number.
Mm-hmm. Lockdown list. Lock tree gate, lock Farley's house, lock lower tower, lock upper tower. Lift minecart into workroom, turn on Mofang disabler, shut garage door, pump water from tree roots, turn on imager rocks, close swing bridge, divert river, turn off power, and activate the dome disabler. Huh,
okay, so the rocks are holograms then.
Yes. So I guess we're to presume that this place is in lockdown and we are trying to undo this list?
I think that would be practical. CW definitely was like he's definitely implying that things are in lockdown, and I think that likewise Farley seemed to suggest likewise in her recording.
Mofang disabler, villain technology, notes from APRAR. 1. Designed to disable anything based on Mofang technology. 2. Disables when blue beam/cloud is within about 1.5 feet of any Mofang device element. 3. Elements physically collapse. Reassembly is possible but non-trivial. 4. APRAR assures me that it's not harmful, still not pointing it at my head. 5. Ruko has not been told that the Villains provided it.
Got a few more proper nouns there. But what I'm hearing is that the blue beam can deactivate Mofang devices, so maybe that's when we're going to need to get rid of the rocks.
That's very possible.
But you know, that's still going to require us to, say, have one we can carry around with us, which I don't think that our protagonist, Surrogate, is going to want to carry anything. They're very... they don't even want to take a scrap of paper with them.
No.
It's like it's heavy. They're already tired from like getting transported to an alien world. This is very overwhelming.
I don't want stuff in my pockets. Pockets aren't for stuff. Well, I'd like to see what we can do here.
Big mistake.
You drain the water from the water tower. There is
You're
now
worried
no
about
more
the fuel.
There is now no more water in this desert. You die painfully. Well, we've watered the tree. I would just like to head back over to the tree really quick and see if maybe we have access to it now, because it seems like we've powered something.
At the end of the tracks, do we have like a cart already on this side that we could theoretically use to cross the gap? This looks like a barrier more than anything. We have like one that's like actually like 90 degrees to us next to it, so we can kind of like see what this object is. It looks like just construction parts.
Yeah. This looks like pieces for the power plant, perhaps.
So if we can't actually use that thing to cross the gap, then maybe it would just be from the other side, or maybe we can't cross it at all, and like we just gotta, go the long way, like an adult.
Yeah, that's distinctly possible. Maybe this is a shortcut that is activated from the other side to get back around. Anyhow, I'm going to run over to the tree really quick and see if anything has changed over there. I don't know what this is that we powered by plugging in that battery.
I mean, it's humming, so maybe we said there's going to be more power somewhere else.
And our entrance to the tree is still blocked.
Sure could use some magic seeds.
Boy, couldn't we.
I don't know what they do, but I want them. Although, then I'd have to carry them.
I left my backpack at home. It was too heavy while empty.
My headcanon now is like the protagonist just has like spandex tights instead of like any sort of garment that would have pockets.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, we were pulled into this world completely unprepared.
Like we just got out of like our like theater practice, but having a nice beach walk in the park, and then a space raspberry. It looks like we got boots.
We got boots, and our shadow looks like we're wearing shorts. So I don't know.
Either shorts or like the bottoms of your leg, your pant legs are stuffed into the boots.
We should head back to Farley's and get a photo of that address.
We do.
I forgot about that. I'm so curious about the tree.
We've accomplished so much, and we're gonna forget about all of it if we're not careful.
Yes. The nice thing about recording this for YouTube is that I can go back and rewatch it while editing and continue to work on puzzles even when I'm not playing the game.
6341. That's going to be her code to her vault.
So I'm guessing that her vault is the other number pad that we saw?
Possibly.
But where was it?
I don't know.
That was like an hour ago. I forgot.
It's been at least 10 minutes.
I have no object permanence. Sure could use that motorcycle.
Do you think that whole like puzzle river door is something that exists for any purpose, or just because it's a fun puzzle to solve?
Well, that's a good question. It looks like it was rigged up by the people who lived here, and that was part of their lockdown protocol. So
maybe, but like, is that to just fool any idiots that get teleported in, and they get discouraged from pulling a lever and didn't know what had happened, so they just walk away?
I mean, what is a puzzle dungeon but a way to discourage idiots?
I mean, we're idiots and we're still here.
Yeah, but that's because we can't get discouraged. We're incorrigible idiots.
Oh, okay, you're gonna look at it. Okay.
Yeah, 6341. There's a weird delay when I hit the escape key. Like, I'm going to press it right now, and that's when it fades out.
I think it's just a matter of 6341. That sounds like a good noise.
And here we are in
Time
the
to meet
Farley
Farley.
vault.
Is this the interior of her house, or is it just a different part of... Can we, like, go outside and see the front yard?
Yep.
Okay. We now have fast travel.
So we now have access to the Farley Community Center.
I'm excited. I want to find out, like, what's going on in there.
Yeah, but you know the unfortunate part about that, David?
Is it be that we have to wait until the next episode and everybody's going to be on the edge of their seat to find out what's going on in the Farley Community Center?
Until then, I implore you, dear viewers, to save early and save often. Thank you for joining us for Abduction, Episode 1. What are your thoughts so far, David?
So far, intriguing. We've got some good mechanical puzzles so far. We've got a mystery going on, lots to speculate on. So good fodder for everything. It feels like it's going to be a lot more concrete, a lot more sci-fi than Myst proper. And so that could be good or bad, depending on how the macro plot pans out.
Yeah, it feels like this is going to be a much more hands-on story as opposed to the Myst games, which tend to be a little more, at least Myst and Riven, tended to be a little more, things have happened, figure out what they were, you can't really affect much in the world. Whereas this feels a little more like we're kind of in the middle of an active story as opposed to looking back on a history.
Yeah, Myst, it can be very ethereal, very like this world is abstract because it was just essentially an incomplete story, whereas this is a world and something has occurred. So that's gonna be a matter of taste, I think.
Absolutely. So anyhow, thank you very much for joining us. We hope that you're enjoying this so far. We hope you'll come back next week for the next parts of Abduction. And again, remember to save early, remember to save often, and please take care of yourself.
Bye. Is there something on that bench? We probably looked at it before. On the other side of the building.
Over here?
Go around the building. The outside. Go backwards.
Backwards?
Yeah, go back outside of this building. Like, basically, around the corner of the building over there. I know it's very confusing because this is basically just like a facade at this point.
Oh, here.
Oh, that's just cans.
Yeah,
Never
just
mind. Don't worry.